How do you get a tribe leader from the Amazon in your podcast? That is the big question for today. Now, the Dutch fans who've been following our podcast, they don't need any introduction about this anymore. For the newbies, I'm going to give you a small summary about the history, what happened the last few years that led to this podcast. So, Eindbazen is a self-help podcast, and it's Dutch slang for final bosses. So we interview people who we think are a final boss in something. So either they have unique skills, unique knowledge, or a great story. And we try to get the best out of them in our interviews and share it with the world. Now, both Michel and I have been on quite a roller coaster journey if it goes to self-development, personal development. And a returning subject in our podcast is the mysterious plant medicine called Ayahuasca. Now, Ayahuasca is a plant medicine from the Amazon, and it's a mysterious brew that I never heard of before until I heard Joe Rogan and Aubrey Marcus talking about it on a podcast. And they talked about this mysterious brew that indigenous people were drinking. And if you drink it, you get visions and insights about your life, about the past, about the future, about what's currently going on. And I felt really attracted to it. And 3 months later, I had my first ceremony. And from there, I can't say how grateful I am for this medicine of ayahuasca, how much it guided me. In my life, in business, in personal life, in relationships, and it's something really special. And every once in a while I do an ayahuasca ceremony with different shamans from different tribes. And I met one shaman whose ceremony was off the charts in every positive way. And during that ceremony, I also got the call to visit the Amazon, go to the Amazon, go to him and his tribe. And half year later, I went. That was in September 2016. It's a little bit more than 1 year ago. And my goal there was to participate in an ancient tradition called a plant diet. And so I went. I went 6 weeks living with the Indians, and imagine a place where there is no electricity, there's no internet, there's no phone, there's nothing. And it was beautiful to witness these people living in harmony with nature and with each other as a real tribe. And it's something we often have long forgotten in this Western society. So there's no social media, there are no televisions, and all the bullshit that's going around here. And that is all happening here. So a completely different environment. And I spent there 6 weeks, and of those 6 weeks, I did a plant diet of 40 days. And this plant diet was guided by the man who was a guest in this episode of our podcast, Txana Ixa. He's a tribe leader and he's a shaman. And he guided me through my diet. I spent 40 days in the forest, isolated from the rest of the world. I was not allowed to drink water, no sugar, no salt and no meat. And in this plant diet, the shaman picks a plant for you, and this plant is going to help you with stuff that you need the most. It can be physical illness, it can be mental problems, or if you want spiritual growth, then that's something that they can provide with these plants. So I did this diet, and on my first ayahuasca session in the village, the medicine of ayahuasca really gave me my mission, which is to learn the world again, what it is to be a pure human being, because that is really what I saw with these Indians. Now, in order to support my mission, I had to write a book during my diet. And every day when I was in my diet, I would drink the ayahuasca, and it would give me lessons about life. And basically, I wrote a blueprint how a human being can be as pure as possible. And it's going to be a really funny book. I'm writing it as we speak. As I record it, it is October 2017. I hope to publish it this year. And it's going to be a great story about venomous snakes, disturbing ayahuasca ceremonies in the forest, me going hunting with the Indians, living with the Indians, having a lot of fun. And imagine living with a tribe and you're not able to communicate with them. And there's so many funny stories, and it's a unique story. But it's a story about finding answers, finding your own inner truth. And as the book is going to be called, Finding Your Own Sacred Truth. Sacred Truth is going to be the title of the book, and it involves a lot of wisdom, knowledge and adventures that I had with my friend Isha, which I'm very honored that I was able to get him to Europe with the help of a great team, and share his wisdom about the forest, about the medicines, doing ceremonies. And I was super honored that he is in my podcast today. He's a good friend, he's a good mentor, and he's a tribe leader, and I really love him for that. So if you want to be updated about my book, please subscribe. The links below. There's an international link and a Dutch link where you can leave your address, and I will keep you updated about the book. And everything regarding Huni Kuin projects. We're setting up solar projects. We're doing a lot of social projects for the Huni Queens. We will do them in the future as well. So keep an eye out for my website, and which is wiggermeerman.com, or you can look at our Dutch website Eindbazen.nl, which is our Dutch podcast site. So I hope you enjoy this podcast as much as I did interviewing it, and I had good fun about this with Michel, my partner in crime, who I did the podcast with. It's surreal to interview somebody who is completely isolated from the world, but has such a deep truth and a meaning to life in everything that he does, and it was really something special to talk to a tribe leader from the Amazon. When does that ever happen, right? So I hope you guys enjoy it. We did it a lot. Thank you much.
This podcast is sponsored by NutroFit, official distributor of Onnit supplements in the Benelux and powerful supplier of bulletproof and natural stacks. Your online place to buy supplements and training gear that will help you achieve total human optimization. Try with no risk with our NutroFit money back guarantee, shipping all across Europe within 24 hours. Find us at www.nutrofit.com.
So I'm really excited for today because, when we started this journey with podcasting, for me, it really started with a conversation between Aubrey Marcus and Joe Rogan, talking about plant medicines and his adventures to Peru. And 3 months later, I had my first ayahuasca session, and all the things that happened in between. That's like 4 years ago now.
Time flies, man.
Yeah, man. We've got the distribution for Onnit, all the things we've done. We started our own podcast. And we've done so many things that are just out of this world, And one of these things that I participated in a lot of ayahuasca sessions, and it brought me so much on personal development, relationships with my family, and during all these ceremonies, I run into ceremonies of the Huni Kuin, which is a indigenous tribe from the Amazon, and I fell in love with it. It was so loving and such a beautiful culture. And along the way, got more into it. And for the people that hear this for the first time, last year, I went to the tribe itself in the Amazon, and I did a plant diet there for 6 weeks. Amazing adventure. It's going to be another podcast, but we'll do that one day in English as well. And I went there to visit a shaman who made such a great impression on me. It was in January last year, where it made such an impact on me. The whole ayahuasca ceremony, it was so powerful and so life-changing that I felt that I had to go to the Amazon and go for the deeper work. And that's a planned diet. We'll go on to that later. And it's been weird ever since. I wrote a book during my diet. I've been on television about it. The podcast took off about this subject. And it's a crazy world, man, because right now we're sitting in the studio and the shaman and the tribe leader who lives there with no electricity, no internet whatsoever, is in our studio today. So this is really weird. And I'd like to introduce Chris also. You see him next to Michel. Chris helps me out with translations and during ceremonies, because we're here with Isha and traveling in Europe. He's spreading his knowledge and his wisdom, and it's been great. It's been a great run so far. We've been busy for a few months. He's about 1 week from getting home again and spent 4 months away from his family. So we do this with a great team from Europe, and I'm really happy that we could finish here in this podcast. So it's going to be a lot of translation for you, Chris. We gave you enough coffee, so you'll be all right. And where do we start? I mean, maybe you want to ask if Isha wants to introduce himself a little bit.
Então, Chay, a gente está gravando, né? E agora, se você quiser se apresentar.
Então, meu nome é Txana Ixa, né?
My name is Txana Ixa.
Povo Huni Kuin, lá da Amazônia.
I'm from the Huni Kuin people in the Amazon forest.
Vivo no meio da floresta entre a limite a fronteira Brasil-Peru.
I live in the forest on the border to between Brazil and Peru.
Temos 4.000 habitantes, povo Huni Kuin.
We have around 4,000 people, inhabitants, Huni Kuin inhabitants.
Eu estou aqui apresentando esse meu povo, né?
I'm here representing my people.
Meu povo Huni Kuin.
My people, the Huni Kuin people.
Eu estou aqui com Chay, né? Com Chay Bishinawa.
I'm here together with Bishinawa, who came to visit me in the forest.
Através dele que eu estou aqui.
It's because of him that I'm here today.
Que ele foi na minha aldeia e voltou, eu estou com ele aqui.
And he went to my village and I came back with him.
Também quero agradecer o Chay Cristiano, né?
Also, I would like to thank Chay Cristiano, who's here translating.
Ele já foi também na minha aldeia e hoje eu estou com ele.
He also visited my village several times, and today we're together.
Eu quero agradecer o Chay.
Michel.
Estou aqui gravando, né?
I'd like to thank Chay Michel, who is helping to make this recording possible.
Welcome.
Espero que é o nosso bom trabalho.
I hope that we will do a good job.
Huis.
So for the people that don't understand the huis, there's a lot of huis in Huni Kuin culture. And it means you call upon the spirit of the visions during the ayahuasca. But it's also I'll see you later. What else? Like hallelujah.
Bring it on.
It reminded me a lot of what martial artists do a lot in Holland. When they see each other, they go like "oes."
Right.
It's like the same.
Yeah, it's the house of the it's the oes of the
oes. Yeah,
definitely. So a lot of people when I give lectures, they have no idea what life is in the forest, and you've been there. And I remember 5 years ago when I met you for the first time, you just came out of the forest and you had this look of a child in your eyes, this fairy tale kind of glow, and he was telling about the forest, how beautiful it was, and I couldn't really imagine it. If you haven't been there, there's no way to imagine it. And but it was true.
Yeah,
I think I have the same glow in my eyes. And I fell in love with it, with the culture. And so can you ask him what life was for him when he used to grow up in the forest, and what was life back then? Because right now he's 48 years old, and really interested in that.
Chay, você pode explicar pra gente como que era para você crescer quando você era jovem, né, crescendo na floresta? Como era a vida lá?
Tempo eu era criança, é muito difícil. Pensava que só era Huni Kuin que mora na floresta.
When I was a child, I lived in the forest, and I thought it was the only people in the world was the Huni Kuin people in the forest.
Só existia Huni Kuin, né? Não tem contato com esses povo brasileiro, né?
Only the Huni Kuin people existed, and I didn't have contact to any people outside my tribe.
Isso eu senti primeiro, né? E depois disso, com 15 anos, eu comecei a ter esse contato com os povos brasileiros.
And so we lived without contact, and when I was 15 years old, I made my first contact to the world outside.
Isso foi iniciado só Huni Kuin, né? E hoje está entrando cada vez mais com conhecimento, né? Com assim, como você tá entrando tudo
No mundo.
no mundo. De primeiro não tinha contato de nada, eu sentia isso. E hoje o mundo era diferente, né? Primeiro era difícil, não tem contato com ninguém, só Huni Kuin mesmo, muita migração, né? Não tinha nada de barulho de máquina.
So it was very difficult back then when we didn't have any contact, and there was no noise from the world outside, no machines, no cars, nothing like this. And today we are expanding and spreading our wisdom to the world, so everything has changed a lot.
Não tinha sabão, nem sal, nem esses combustíveis.
We didn't have fuel, petrol, we didn't have soap, we didn't have salt.
Tudo é natural, tudo é de lá mesmo.
Everything was natural and from the forest.
Nós usava luz de borracha.
We used to make light out of
Da
rubber.
seringa. E sabão usava de casca de árvore também.
So we used to make lights out of rubber from the rubber trees, and because this rubber can burn, and we used to use this to make light in the night.
O sal é só pimenta, nada de sal. Não tem sal.
And salt, we could use only chilies to flavor our food, and we would use the bark from a tree to wash our skin.
E a casa não tem soalho, só o chão mesmo, cobertura de palha.
And we used to live directly on the floor, just covered by leaves from a palm tree.
E trabalho é plantação, né? Caçar, pescar, plantar.
And we used to work in the fields every day and grow our own crops and go hunting in the forest and fishing in the river.
E fazendo essa alegria de festival, né? Batismo, alegria, chamar a força dos legumes. Era isso, o trabalho.
And we used to have several types of festivals. For example, the festival of the vegetables, and we would have that when we would plant our vegetables, and we have the festival of the baptism for young children.
Não tem nada de trabalho assim escrito.
We didn't.
Só oral mesmo.
We don't have a fixed job in the forest like that, and nothing is written down. Everything is spoken and in a spoken word.
Andava de barco com vara, nada de motor, varejando.
Back then, we used to drive our boats with the long stick. We didn't have any engines or motors like that, anything like that.
Assim sempre fazia, né? Ia fazendo migração, vários lugares diferentes, onde tem fartura de caça, de pesca. Então mudava vários lugares diferentes onde tem.
And we used to move around as a nomadic people. We never used to live in one place. We used to live wherever the food would be. So we would look for areas where, we would stay a certain time in one area, and then the food would disappear, and then we would move to another place.
How long is that time on average?
How long to stay there?
How long do you stay in one place?
Quanto tempo vocês ficavam em lugar?
Lugar 5 anos.
Around 5 years, you would stay in one place.
Yeah.
How large were their groups?
Sorry?
How large were their groups?
E qual era o tamanho dos grupos?
Os grupos moram 30, 40 pessoas nesse lugar. Aí falta as madeira, lenha, né, para fazer fogo, ou então o terreno que fica mais longe, a construção, né, ou então fica longe de palha, as madeiras. Aí muda onde fartura para não carregar de longe, onde tem muito, assim deixa, vai mudando, assim sempre fazia.
We used to live around 30 to 40 people in each group, and we would build our houses and places to live from the wood in that area. And then when the houses were broken or we need to make new houses, we would move to another area where the wood would be available and the resources.
Caçava só com a flecha.
We only used to hunt with the bow and arrow.
Nada arma de fogo, só existia flecha.
Didn't have any guns, just the bow and arrow.
Lança, borduna.
And spears, we used to make spears.
Família mora junto na mesma casa, não é várias casas não, só uma casa bem grande morava junto.
And the families, they used to live together in one house, and they don't live in each their own house. Everyone lives together under the same roof.
Assim vivia tempo atrás.
And this is how we used to live.
That's good.
Interesting, man. I have so many questions about this because this is it is hunter-gatherer living. I mean, this is so close to how it used to be for us, and we have all these old patterns still in us that fit the lifestyle that Ishi had. I have a question about living in those groups and the social structures they have. He's a shaman, but is he also a tribe leader? How does one become a tribe leader in such a group?
E, todos esses grupos têm pajé, né? E também tem uma liderança, né? E como você virou liderança?
Todas essas malocas que chama, né? Se chama cupixaba. Dentro desse cupixaba tem pajé, né? Xamã. E tinha liderança que se chama cacique, né? Que administra o trabalho.
So we used to have a big house we call the Maloca or the Kupixawa. This is like a central building where the pajé would live, and the chiefs would stay there also.
O pajé cuida assim algum mau espírito que vem chegando, ele protege tudo, né? Sabe de tudo ali. E o liderança quem cuida os trabalhos com todas as famílias, né?
And the shaman would take care of the village in a spiritual sense. He would keep out bad spirits and stuff like that. And the leaders, the chiefs, would take care of the day-to-day operation of the village, all the practical things, harvesting and stuff like that. But the shaman works in the spiritual world and makes sure everyone is healthy and happy.
É assim sempre, né? Tanto faz do homem e das mulheres também.
Both men and women he takes care of. E como você virou pajé? How did you become a pajé?
Eu virei pajé quando tornei o meu irmão morreu. Foram me buscar para me visitar. Quando eu cheguei, estava na sala.
My brother died, and they came to tell me, and I was in the living room or in the main room.
Aí quando eu cheguei, olhando para ele, todo mundo rodeado, chorando, quando eu olhei assim no rosto dele, no espírito, o corpo dele, achava graça para mim.
And as I entered the room where he was lying dead, and there was all the relatives around crying and people were really sad. I looked at his dead face, and as I looked, the spirit smiled, made his face smile.
Aí eu falei para todo mundo parar de chorar.
And I told everyone, okay, you don't have to cry anymore.
Eu fui lá assoprando, segurando o nariz, assoprando na boca, fecha a boca, assoprando no nariz, até que respirou.
So I held his nose and I blew into his mouth until he started breathing again.
E nessa hora todo mundo falou que eu era pajé. Começou a ganhar nome de pajé nessa hora.
And from that day, everyone considered me the shaman.
E assim sempre eu vinha trabalhando, e depois que o nosso primeiro pajé, que é o Xuru, que ele fez passagem, nós colocamos o filho dele mais velho para assumir o trabalho do pai. Mas não deu, todo mundo reuniram, as maiorias lideranças entre esses 4.000 habitantes, me nomearam no lugar desse Xuru. Para me responder.
And then after a great shaman had passed away, his name was Inkamuru, they wanted his son to take over his responsibilities, but in the end, I was selected because his son could not take over the responsibilities, and then I was selected to be the shaman of the tribe.
I have another question about becoming the shaman. Is it something in these villages that goes from father to son because they sort of inherit it, or is it because the father has taught the son, or is it also possible that, for instance, another son can be taught by a man and he then becomes the shaman? Is it a matter of talent fits what you want to do in the group?
Essa coisa de virar pajé, essa força está passado de pai para o filho, ou pode ser outra pessoa e não precisa ser parente mesmo, ou como que é para virar pajé, assim, é uma coisa que está passado um por outro, ou pode escolher outro que não é parente?
Negócio de pajé não é pessoa que quer fazer, colocar pajé não. Pajé nasceu com esse trabalho, né? Vem trabalhando e todo mundo vê que era ele, pode ser trabalhado. Se você escolher pensando que pajé, não adianta também. Tem que ser iniciado desde nascido. Isso todo mundo sabe que era ele, né? Já está sabendo como fazer tudo. Não é todos que faz isso, não é todos que tem esse conhecimento.
So to become a pajé is not a choice, and you know, it's something you're born to become, and you're born with this task in your life. And when you're born, people will recognize the pajé in the village, and then they will know that he's the next one.
É por isso que não é todos pajé.
So it's not everyone who can be a pajé.
Porque tem algumas pessoas que o pajé nasceu próprio para isso, sabe as coisas para fazer, trabalha com esse caminho, né? Como fosse eu tenho esse dom de conhecimento, de conhecedor da medicina, né? Todas medicina, posso ajudar outra pessoa com essas plantas, com essas nossa medicina Ayahuasca, né? Toma, às vezes com canto de cura, canta. Isso tudo tem que ter uma pessoa.
So a shaman is born with the capabilities to work with plant medicines and to sing the songs, and it's already in his system from birth. So and since he's born, he starts to develop these skills and to work with people, to heal people in his village.
I see. And do they see it the same for other professions?
E assim é igual para outras profissões, por exemplo, outros lugares, outras profissões dentro da aldeia. Tipo, um professor, por exemplo, ele é nascido como professor ou é uma coisa que pode ensinar?
O professor é nascido para ser ser daquela pessoa, né? Não é ele que está estudando, aprendendo, não. E o Shibu já deu para ser daquele jeito, vai fazendo, né? Se for professor, tem que aprender para estudar, para ensinar para outra pessoa. Isso já foi dado para aquele pensamento, para aquela pessoa. Então, está dando, então é dele mesmo para aquele dom, né?
So the Great Spirit is organizing all these things before we are born, and if you're to become a teacher, you will know, and then you will have the abilities to become a teacher. But the Great Spirit has already decided this before you're born.
All right, yeah, it's very clear.
So if we talk about becoming a shaman, well, you and I have both been in a plant diet. I respect Chris a lot because he done something that not many people do. You spend 3 months in the forest doing one of the toughest diets. The diet you have to, one of the diets you can take before being able to give ayahuasca to other people in their culture. It's a 3-month diet. Otherwise, you're not able to handle that. And I've been to the same place where you've been, and I spent there 6 weeks. So my head is off to you. Doing double time. I will do it one day. But can you ask him, why is it so important to do, for example, you can do ayahuasca, it's an introduction to the medicine, but if you want to work with the medicine, you have to do plant diets. Can you ask him, what is the purpose of these diets in his view for becoming a shaman?
Para alguém virar pajé, essa pessoa tem que passar pelas várias dietas, né, e várias coisas. E para que serve essas dietas?
Sim, essa dieta é obrigação dos caminhos dos pajé, né? Como já tem esse dom, vai fazendo esse trabalho de dieta, buscando esse conhecimento. Não é todos que aguentam. A dieta, o que você quer ser. Pode pedir aquelas plantas ou então outras.
Para que você quer ser?
Pode
ser qualquer coisa.
Qualquer coisa. Não é ele que vai dar. Não. Não é assim como a medicina toma, traz admiração, não. Você deseja o que você quer.
So with the different diets, you decide what you want the focus and the intention of the diet to be. Mm-hmm. So if you want to be a shaman, this is your intention with the diet, and with this you dive into the diet. But you can also use the diet to become a carpenter or any other profession. So it's something that you will start developing. And
it's a personal development tool.
It's personal development, yes, to be able to use your full potential. So
for the people that don't understand diets, like usually when I talk about this, they're like, oh, so you can only eat vegetables? It's different. Like you're isolated. You're being kept away from the crowd. No sex allowed. No sugar. No salt.
Not allowed to listen to negative talk.
Yeah, no negative.
To talk negatively.
Correctly, and I wasn't able to drink water for 40 days.
You're not allowed to drink pure water.
Yeah, so there's a lot of, and all these things, and they put you they bring you to the sacred space, which is, they call it o espaço sagrado.
Espaço sagrado.
Yeah, it's the sacred space where they grow your medicines, and you get your own little cabin, and you get to spend some time alone with no impulses of WhatsApp, Facebook, people, work, whatever, and spending a lot of time, a few weeks on your own. And I like the way you say it. It literally drove you crazy at some point, right?
Yes,
and then turned you upside down, because at one point I really recognized that after a few weeks you get very aware of your own thoughts, of your feelings, and I started talking to myself because I was so bored out, and just what are you doing in the jungle? And it's so confronting because people don't understand. You can do a jungle tour in Thailand on an elephant. That's not spending a time in the jungle as they do. It's a really rough environment. The first 3 days in the sacred space, I saw 3 snakes, and it's really hard to move around in the jungle to survive. So it's really confronting because this jungle, it doesn't give anything about your money, about your problems, about your ego, and it will swallow you like nothing. And that's something that you will understand within the first 2 weeks when you're there. And that makes you really humble to nature. And what's going on there. So I'm really wondering, like, how did a lot of our listeners they followed my journey in the forest, and I'm really wondering how he experienced me in that forest, coming there and going out. I never was able to talk about it with him, so this is my moment.
O Tchá, ele está perguntando, ele quer muito saber como você percebeu ele chegando na floresta, né? Como você percebeu um gringo, né, Nauá, chegando, ficando na sua floresta, na seu espaço sagrado, e fazendo dieta, fazendo tudo que esse gringo faz, né? E como você se sente com essa pessoa que vem?
Eu senti assim como fosse tá querendo entender a conexão da floresta, né, com a tradição ancestrais.
I can feel that it's a person that wants to get to know my forest and to get to know the traditions of my people.
E tem esse tipo de conhecimento, é por isso que está buscando esse conhecimento, né? Então, alguém está chegando buscar algumas coisas, tá chegando precisando algumas coisas, né? Então, isso eu senti que está querendo buscar esse conhecimento dos ancestrais que existe na floresta.
I feel that he came to the forest to search for something, to learn something, to seek wisdom from our ancestors. So he comes to the forest because he needs something.
Mm.
Is that true?
Definitely, yeah. Really, really weird experience. Isha didn't ask a lot of questions when I was there, and I kind of had this thing like, oh, I'm gonna be have like a special treatment there because I'm a Western guy. But he started my diet, and then he kind of left me on my own. It's just, and you have to do it. You drink lots of medicine. I drank 30 times ayahuasca in 30 days. So it really turned me upside down, and you just spend time alone, and you get comfortable with being alone as well. So yeah, definitely. If I look back at the time, then you get back and there's a lot of integration going on. You know, you come back, and it's been almost a year now since I've a little bit less, and so many things happened, and it's like a glass that has mud underneath, and it gets shaken. And I really recognized that after my diet was finished in the forest, the real diet started, and that's to integrate all the lessons that you learned. Because you have this kind of enlightened state when you get out of the forest, but as soon as you get out of it, you really get tested to
you're kind of protected, no?
Yeah.
Protected.
And everybody's nice, and it's a different world, and it's not such an ego-driven world. So then you get back, and then you see people argue, lie, or you're a lot more sensitive to other people's words and thoughts and things. Energies, definitely. Voice. And then you have to get back, and it was really hard for me to give all this a place, because you're not in the forest. You're a Westerner. You live in this world, and it's different. And that acceptance is really difficult. Was really difficult for me. So. But you know, the last 3 months, I can say I'm back fully 100% again, and enjoying all the lessons in that. Yeah.
I have a question on that to Isha, because what's unique about him is he experienced the first contact with Western civilization, right? And I'm wondering, first of all, what that was like, and when they started noticing that the man from the West is different than they are in regards to ego and domination and stuff like that. How did that shine through?
Ele está perguntando como foi para você quando você saiu da floresta a primeira vez, quando você viu outra cidade, e quando você os povos Huni Kuin começou a perceber que o mundo de fora estava chegando mais perto.
Isso foi iniciado em 75.
In
75 chegou o primeiro antropólogo.
In 1975 came the first anthropologist.
Buscando registrar a terra, né, como foi registrado hoje.
And he went to the forest to register the lands of the people.
Onde foi pensado desde 75 e hoje tem a terra demarcada, né?
And to this day, this same land is registered since 1975.
E hoje estamos todos lá nessa terra onde foi feito o trabalho do antropólogo.
To this day, we live still in that land. E como foi para você quando você saiu da floresta? 15 anos, né?
Quando eu saí da floresta, eu encontrei cidade, né? Muita gente, muitas estruturas. No Jordão primeiro, principalmente, entrando uns branco com motor, né? Quando chega primeiro o motor, todo mundo olhando o que é que está chegando, né? Era estranho para todos.
So when I was 15, it was the first time that I saw boats with engines, and everyone thought it was really strange and a special experience to see these motors driving the boats. And also when I was 15, I went to a bigger city and I saw all these houses and cars and lots of people moving around everywhere.
Assim, vendo, tendo os material, né? O barco, o motor, começou a entrar com esse barco, motor, que veio primeira viagem na cidade de Tarauacá, né?
And I saw so much materialism, so many materials, like houses that are made of bricks and cars that are made of iron, and there's a lot of mass and a lot of material that's been used. And slowly, all this is coming closer and closer to our forest.
E daí veio para Rio Branco.
Then I went to Rio Branco, which is a bigger city.
Quando eu cheguei em Rio Branco, ninguém gostava de mim.
When I arrived in Rio Branco, nobody liked me.
Porque eu não pode entrar ali de menor.
Because I was underage, so
Tem que ter conhecimento para entrar nesse lugar.
In Rio Branco?
Sim.
So because I was underage, there was things I couldn't do, and I was limited.
Onde estão fazendo a formação dos professores, né? Aí eu estava no meio, por isso que falaram para mim, para poder entrar, me testaram, então canta na tua língua, que se você cantar tudo bem. Eu canto, né? Aí eu cantei, falei para eles que cantando a permissão dos lugar que é onde eu estou chegando, aí começou, todo mundo gostaram, né? Então comecei a entrar com eles.
So I wanted to become a teacher, so I could teach in my village, and I was too young, and they wanted to give me a test, but I didn't know how to write. But then they asked me if I could sing, and I sing. So yes, I sang a song for them, and then I started my faculty as becoming a teacher.
Eu vim sem convidado, sem nada. Eu vim através do jogo, que aquele que coloca o nome, né? No cesto.
Tipo lotérica.
Sim, se tira o nome daquela pessoa, ganhou, né? Então, com esse jogo que eu ganhei.
Direito de estudar.
Sim, direito de vem estudar, passe para esse estudar. Aí é por isso que tá, não, eu falei para ele, não, eu ganhei isso, eu tô com esse caminho aqui, né? Com meu sorte mesmo, como é que é? Sorteio, né? Como é?
Sorteio. So I participated, in the end I participated in a lottery kind of thing, like a tombola. And there was lots of names on little notes inside this tombola, and I was lucky that my name was on one of the pieces of paper that was taken out of the tombola, and then I gained the right to study and a scholarship.
I see.
Daí, quando eu estava estudando com eles, o professor que está dando aula me chamou para me conhecer a Madrinha Chica Barquinha, primeira igreja.
And then I started to study in Rio Branco, and slowly I began to meet people from religious churches with ayahuasca, and the first one I met was the Barquinho Church.
Colônia 5.000, né? Essas coisas todas, quando eu comecei a conhecer com esse professor, e o cacique Sinha falou para mim, Ixá, não faz isso não, assim não vai deixar vocês mais nunca, você vivia com eles.
And as I started to get to know these ayahuasca churches, our big chief, he said, no, don't go there, and because if you go there, you're gonna stay with them forever, and we want you to work with us.
Eu falei para eles, não é eu não, eles que estão me convidando, eu estou indo com eles.
And I said, it's not me who wants to go there, they're inviting me to go, so I want to go and visit them.
Assim comecei o meu trabalho.
And like this, I started working in Brazil, out of the village.
All right. What was it like coming into the modern world and discovering there was this vast civilization going on that had some, well, very big events? For example, what was it like learning about stuff like World War II and Hiroshima? Or, I mean, do they explore these themes? Do you know about the global history, and how do they look upon it?
Ele está perguntando o que você acha, qual foi sua impressão quando você soubesse sobre as guerras que teve guerra mundial no mundo, né? E teve a bomba Hiroshima, né? A bomba atômica. E quando você ficou sabendo disso, sobre tudo isso, o que você pensou?
Isso eu vi na história, às vezes alguém falando que tem essa guerra, tudo, né? Como eu falei, nós estávamos juntos ali com o professor, com a formação dos professores, fala tudo isso, né? Ali falaram para mim que tem esse tipo de guerra, aconteceu, e eu pensei, por que estão fazendo isso?
So we started to learn about world history in school and through the history books, and I was very astonished and surprised, and I was wondering why people are doing this.
E fazendo isso, pensei de competição, quem pode ganhar, quem pode perder, assim estão fazendo, né? Assim eu pensei primeiro.
I thought in the beginning I thought it was a kind of competition, you know, that people were having competitions to win something and you know.
E assim, querendo pegar os conhecimentos dos outros, né? Eu falei assim, não, sendo assim não pode fazer isso. Até hoje tem esse problema, né? Dizendo que era dele, aqui é tudo registrado, esse aqui é meu. Cadê o documento do Deus para ele? Não tem. É para nós todos, para todos.
So I also realized that the wars and the fighting was going on over wisdom and knowledge, and as far as I'm concerned, God he didn't give a contract to certain groups of people to having the rights to these certain knowledges or riches. The world and everything is one, and it's for all of us.
Yes, that's actually very interesting. How did it feel to discover there were other religions, and how does he feel about the way they look at, you know, the bigger questions and the purpose of life and that kind of stuff? How did he feel about that?
O que você achou quando você encontrou religião, né? Você descobriu que teve vários tipos de religião no mundo, né?
Existe várias religiões, existe vários conhecimentos de poder, né? Cada um tem seu poder, não é uma coisa só. Cada pessoa tem o seu próprio poder espiritual, não é a mesma.
So there's different religions everywhere, and each religion has their wisdom and their knowledge and their power, and
E mesmo assim, todos tem esse pensamento, esse conhecimento, mas o caminho é uma coisa só.
So there's so many different religions and ways of people to think, but in truth there's only one way.
Isso existe ainda.
And it still exists. All these religions.
Interesting. And when he talks about there's only one way, does he mean the way from the forest, or is it like it's all the same in its principle?
E que você está dizendo quando se fala se só tem um caminho?
Só tem um caminho, todo mundo tem conhecimento de poder, mas todo mundo morre, né?
Yeah, everyone has the ability to gain wisdom and power, and everyone dies.
Embora que o muito saber ou pouco saber, vai morrer. Isso que eu falo, só tem um caminho, mas tem vários conhecimentos diferentes, querendo fazer, mas o caminho é um só.
Yeah, so there's many different paths to walk in life, but in the end of the day, we all die and we all go the same way, and we are all the same.
I agree.
If you look at every religion has its beginning of the world story and its ending of the world. And I'm really interested in both stories for the Huni Kuin.
Cada religião, né, tem uma história, né, como começou o mundo.
Sim.
E como o mundo vai acabar.
Sim.
E cada religião tem a história dele, né? E a criação do universo. E como que é a história do Huni Kuin? Como começou o mundo?
Sim, o mundo aonde eu cheguei a ver a história dos meus ancestrais, o meu avô contando a história, o mundo começou assim baixo como fosse esse aqui, né? Telha. Às vezes levanta, bate na cabeça, céu era bem baixo.
I got from the wisdom from my ancestors that when the world started, the sky was very low, and we could even bang our heads on the sky.
Tudo é fácil, né? Principalmente algodão, já tem feito fiado, só pegar, fazer, tecer, né?
And everything was easy, and the cotton was widely available.
E também a gente visitava o céu, vai lá, voltava sempre.
And we used to visit the sky.
Com a corda, joga a corda lá, aí quando amarra lá, sobe, com corda, vai lá no céu e volta.
We used to tie a rope up to the sky, and we would climb up to the sky.
E dos mulheres levantou com a neto, bateu na cabeça no céu, ficou reclamando. Céu, se fosse o céu era mais longe, tá batendo aqui a minha cabeça. É por isso que foi.
And one woman climbed up the rope with a child, and she banged her head on the sky, and she
bateu na cabeça.
Yeah, she hit her head on the sky.
Aí ficou reclamando.
And she was
complaining. O céu ficava alto, baixo aqui batendo na minha cabeça, aí esse céu subiu.
And she started complaining, and aí no final ela subiu.
Subiu.
She complained because she hit her head, and in the end she made it up to the sky.
E começou, por isso que subiu, escureceu. Quando subiu, escureceu tudo.
And when she came up there, everything went dark.
Aí o primeiro pessoa, como escureceu, ele fez fogo para clarear. Esse quem fez fogo que ficou o sol.
And then it became dark, and the first person who created the fire became the sun.
Querendo clarear, fez fogo, virou o sol, né?
And he wanted things to clear up, so he created the fire, and then he became the sun.
Aí começou a terra subiu, o céu, né, abriu, escureceu tudo, juntou, além de esse escuro, juntou essa terra.
So up in the sky it became dark, and then all the earth started to come together.
Aí começaram, essas pessoas não tem sexo, não tem nada conhecimento, só pessoas mesmo que foi transformado pelo terra, né?
And then from the earth people were transformed into people.
E eles começaram a tentar entender como é que faz para a criação da pessoa, né? Como é que podemos fazer, tal. Tinha a mulher o negócio dela e o homem tem. Nunca fizeram, pensando que era ferida, né? Fazia todo tipo de medicina para sarar, mas nunca sarou.
And so a man and woman was created out of the earth, and they had all their sexual organs and everything, but they didn't know what to use it for, and they tried all kinds of medicines to heal it. I thought it was wounds.
E quando fazia gente, matava porco, onça, anta, misturava sangue. E hoje por isso que tem esse nome de, vários nomes, Yawabanã, que era o sangue do porco, viado, tudo misturado ali para transformar a pessoa. Quando transformou, pensando que é essa doença, curando, tentando curar há muito tempo, e até que chegou a conhecer com o macaco transava, né? Aí viu lá, foi buscar medicina, viu esse macaco transando, correu, pegou, começou a transar. E esse homem começou, mesmo um dia, transou com todas as mulheres, que nunca foi feito. Eu quero fazer também, eu quero fazer também, todo mundo fazendo. No último, fazendo bem novinha, foi esse cara quem está fazendo isso.
And they hunted many different types of animals and mixed their blood. That's why we have different names, animal names today, and we still use these animal names. But still, they didn't know how to reproduce. And then one day, someone saw a monkey reproducing, having sex, and then this person who saw that ran and had sex with all the females in the community.
He got it.
And then he got it.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, monkey see, monkey do.
Nice.
And so creation started.
All right.
Assim começou, né? Aí depois que fez isso, começaram a ter criança, filho, homem, mulher. E esse povo morreu através da água. Água levou tudo, matou tudo. Perdeu tudo, legume de novo. Segunda geração, né? Não tem isso.
And so they created lots of children and people and families, and then there was a big flood and everyone died. And all the plants and vegetables died, everything died.
E esse foi tudo, ficou 3 pessoas, quer dizer, na Paquetã, no Tabacum, né? Esses 2 são mais poderosos, o homem e a mulher, né? Na Paquetã era irmão desse...
Então ficou 2 irmãos e uma mulher?
Sim. Não, 2 mulheres e um homem só.
Ah, tá. Everyone died except 2 women and 1 man.
E o único animal que ficou também nesse tempo, alagação tudo, era o macaco paroco.
Que não morreu.
Não morreu também. Ele sobreviveu, molhou até aqui, subiu o pescoço, aí a água desceu.
And there was also a monkey that survived. And he managed to keep his head over the water.
Esse Nawapaquitão aqui eu falo como fosse uma história do Noé, né? Noé. Como fosse a história do Noé.
Noé.
Esse Nawapaquitão, o nosso foi desse jeito também. A hora que tá enchendo tudo, levou todos filhotes de animais lá, o lugar onde não subia água.
And this is like our version of Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
So this man who was left back, he gathered all the animals that had survived.
E foi lá, e essa mulher poderosa saiu por cima do samaúma que foi boiando, né? Um samaúma caído assim perto, o rio encheu, e saiu boiando, pulou em cima dessa samaúma, essa mulher poderosa, uma mulher. No Tabacum.
And one of the women, she survived by jumping on a big tree, a samaúma tree that was floating on the water.
Quando saiu cantando, né?
And she went away singing.
Durante esse enchente, fica comendo esse pau, né? O samaúma comendo, por isso que sobreviveu, não tem nada comida, dorme ali mesmo.
And she survived by eating the tree, from the tree.
E no finalmente saiu chorando, com muito choro, pegou um cumbuca, né? Um cumbuca, saiu chorando, a mulher que jogava no cumbuca. E os marubondos, abelha, venha querendo comer esses negócios. Quando encheu, tapou a cumbuca com o marubondo, abelha, tudo. E transformou 2 homens.
And as she was struggling and surviving, she started to cry. And she found a calabash, like a bowl. And she cried into the bowl. And all her teardrops went into the bowl, and lots of bees and insects came to drink from the tears. E tornou 2 homens.
Sim.
And all the teardrops became 2 men.
Isso significa como fosse italiano, né? O povo italiano criou esse marubondo, então isso nós chama pessoa desse povo, quer dizer, né? Binanauabu, né, Charanauabu. Então começou aí esses 2 homens, e essa velha no Tabacum perdeu o olho, ficou cego.
So these 2 men were created, and the old guy became blind.
E esse cego com esses 2 meninos secou o rio, aí começou subindo no rio.
And the blind man with the 2 women started to sail up the river.
Carregando nas costas, levando no braço.
Carregando aqui.
A velha.
And they were carrying the old man up the river.
A velha não vê, né? A abelha, a marubondo comeu tudo.
The bees and wasps had
Aí
stung his eyes,
levando.
so he couldn't see anymore.
E assim mesmo, com mão conhecia tudo. Chegou lá, primeiro pegaram a banana, folha de banana. Isso aqui é uma folha grande, tudo.
As soon as they arrived, they took a big banana leaf.
E ela falou, essa aqui é banana, vocês levam para plantar lá.
And she said that this was a banana, and now you can go and plant the banana.
Quando a legume carregou tudo, o rio carregou tudo, né? Saiu na beira do barranco, e saiu ajuntando.
The river brought lots of vegetables that were washed up on the shores.
E não conseguiu milho.
But they couldn't find mice.
Chegou lá, saiu procurando esse Naupactã, né? Ele sobreviveu. Não sei onde é que está. Vamos subindo nesse cabeceira do rio que está lá.
So they went looking for one of the men, and he had survived, but it was very difficult for them to find him.
Aí subindo o rio, chegou até onde é que está.
And then they went up the river, and then they found him.
Encontraram ele estava com a irmã, não pode fazer sexo com a irmã, fazer filho com a irmã.
He was with his sister, and he can't reproduce with his sister.
Juntaram todos esses filhotes de animais.
They gathered all the animal children, the
Young animals.
young animals.
Nesse tempo ele estava batizando esse animal filhote para ter poderoso esse animal.
And he started baptizing all these animals.
E chegou essa irmã no Tabacum com 2 meninos que foi transformado.
And then Tutuberu Ele chegou?
Ela chegou com 2 meninos, né, que foi transformado debaixo do rio e chegou até onde está o Nao Paquetão, encontrou com eles.
And then a woman, the 2 girls that were transformed arrived to where he was sitting.
E quando encontrou batizando esse animal, né, e esse homem veio e falou para eles: a minha irmã chegou, mas assim que chegou vai morrer.
And as soon as she arrived, she died.
Ele é poderoso, né? Quando falou isso, falou, né? Aí foi mesmo. Essa velho, quando chegou foi. Esse Nutubacum foi.
And not to entender.
Nutubacum morreu, né?
Mm-hmm.
E quando morreu, ficou só esses 2 homens que foi transformado.
And in the end, there was only 2 men left that had been transformed.
E esses 2 homens viu que esse Nao Paquetão fez isso com a mãe.
And these 2 guys had seen what the
Vingando
other
a
guy
mãe,
had done.
vingando a mãe, mataram ele também. Que era um dos orros grandes, arrastando o orro lá. Onde anda era tudo limpo. Aí passaram o veneno na flecha, colocaram no orro, jogaram lá em cima e encheu, morreu. E esses 2 homens ficaram com essa irmã que estava com ela.
And so the 2 men stayed with the 2 women that had been transformed.
Aí esses 2 homens casou só com uma mulher, né? Daí começaram a criar a outra família.
And then they married, and then they started to create new families.
Yeah.
Aí que começou o segundo mundo,
And
né?
so
Trazendo
started the
as
second world.
Interesting. It has, in that regard, it might sound a little confusing, but basically what they're describing is the origins of mankind and how clans came to be, which is not that dissimilar from how the Bible in Genesis does it with all these families. And what I found very interesting is that they have these similarities across. If you take Christianity, for example, I've heard a big flood, I've heard baptism, so there are these themes that overlap. I find that very interesting.
This big flood thing, I'm going to send to Graham Hancock.
Yeah, that's interesting. Man.
He's gonna like it.
Well, what I was wondering though is because I've been to your ceremony and I heard you guys invoke a certain spirit. And when Wigert came back from the jungle, he was talking about Yushibu a lot. So how does Yushibu fit into this bigger creation story? What's his place in all this?
Como que é a função do Yushibu dentro dessa história de criação? Qual parte que ele faz? O Yushibu faz?
Yushibu mesmo, esse que já foi feito tempo da transformação, né? Não é nós que fizemos, isso que é Yushibu. Ele mesmo, como fosse a terra, água, floresta, né? Sol, lua, esses que foi transformado, eles são Yushibu.
So Yushibu was created in the era of transformation and was created by the sun and the earth and the moon and the stars, and Yushibu is all that.
The creator of all.
Yeah.
Esses são Yushibu.
And how does that if you talk to other indigenous tribes, they talk about the concept of an earth mother a lot, Gaia. Is this the same thing? Is Yushibu a female, or is it because I get the distinction when you talk about it's like a male energy? How does that work in this regard?
E Yushibu é masculino ou feminino?
Yushibu tá dizendo tudo, tanto faz masculino ou feminino que tá falando, né?
Yushibu is in every living thing, and it's either masculine or feminine.
Tudo é Yushibu, né? Tudo, não é só um. Falando todos que é Yushibu, né? Como fosse, para falar todos, tem que falar como fosse Deus, né?
Tudo que
tá
vivo.
Yushibu. Sim, isso como fosse falando de Deus. Yushibu é isso, né? Para nós.
So Yushibu is God, is the creator.
All right.
And Yushibu exists in all living things.
Very good.
Everything that is alive.
And what is Yushibu's relation to, for example, Mother Ayahuasca? Are those separate things?
E qual é a diferença entre Yushibu e Mãe Ayahuasca?
Esse Yushibu nós não estamos vendo.
Yushibu we can't see.
Tá aqui com nós, Yushibu. Todo.
Yushibu is right here.
E é só medicina que pode ver. Aí é por isso que tem que tomar para conexão com esse Yushibu.
Only the medicine can see Yushibu. That's why we drink medicine, so we can see Yushibu.
Quando você toma, traz, você vê tudo tá aqui, o mais longe.
And Yushibu will represent itself in many different forms.
Ele que comunica com Yushibu. Por isso que nós sempre tomar para saber como é que funciona com Yushibu pelo mundo, né?
So the medicine communicates with Yushibu, with God. And when we drink the medicine, we also communicate through the medicine with God.
And is it that when we drink ayahuasca that we change something within ourselves so that we can see or talk to Yushibu? Or is it like something that helps you along? Ayahuasca has been described to me as an entity in itself that helps you on your journey. How do they regard ayahuasca? Is it like you drink it and that's why you see it? Or it is you take something in and it guides you along the way?
Quando você toma a medicina fica dentro de você ou vai te guiando para encontrar o Yushibu?
Essa aí é Yushibu entre quatro Yushibu.
4 Yushibus.
4 Yushibu. Água.
Water.
Fogo.
Fire.
Folha.
Leaves.
E o cipó, né?
And liana.
Esse juntou para conexão com esse espírito que anda no mundo.
And the spirit gathered all these ingredients together.
Aí quando toma, que vai mostrar para você o que tá dando.
And when you drink it, it will show you what you need to see.
Isso se chama espírito da floresta.
This is called the spirit of the forest.
So if you look at the medicine of ayahuasca, which is really important in their community, I've heard of tribes drinking it 3 times a week. They call themselves the children of ayahuasca. What is the medicine? I know the answer a little bit, but for our listeners, what kind of place has the medicine in their community? Why do they do it so often?
Maybe you want to ask how often they do it.
No, more or less like what is the place of the medicine in their tribe?
Like the function. Qual é a função da medicina dentro da sua tribo, da sua aldeia, com o seu povo? Qual é o objetivo de tomar ayahuasca?
É o nosso grande espiritual do povo Huni Kuin. Através dessa aí que nós tem esse conhecimento, né? Tanto faz cura, ver antes como fosse sonho, né? Depois do sonho nós tem essa medicina.
So we use ayahuasca medicine to heal ourselves, to work with ourselves, and to reach for our dreams.
Porque é através da medicina que descobrimos essa medicina, né? Através do sonho que descobrimos essa medicina.
It was because of a dream that we discovered the medicine.
Isso é o nosso segredo espiritual do povo Huni Kuin, porque essa miração é o espírito da floresta, né?
So these visions are the spirit of the forest, and this is our sacred secret.
E tem essa medicina, né? Existe.
And we have this medicine, and it exists.
What is his view on they use it in a very traditional way? It's very sacred. A lot of ways to why you can't use it or why you should use it. What is his opinion about ayahuasca coming to the Western world and how we
we or the facilitators in general are handling this.
Então a medicina ayahuasca é uma coisa sagrada, né? É uma coisa do seu povo, veio da floresta. E hoje em dia a medicina está chegando cada vez mais no nosso mundo, né? Mundo de fora. E o que você acha de tudo isso? Que está chegando cada vez mais, tem pessoas usando. O que você acha que está chegando no nosso mundo?
Isso para mim tá chegando como fosse nós também tá chegando, né? Isso foi espalhado assim no mundo de vocês através do mestre Raimundo Irineu. Ele que conheceu, ele tem esse conhecimento, passou para todos os vários lugares, passando para outras pessoas, né? E daí vai espalhando, parece que está dando no mundo inteiro. E quem são donos mesmo é o Huni Kuin lá, né? E hoje estão querendo buscar mais, porque é verdade, existe. Não é feito de fábrica, não. Da natureza mesmo dá essa conexão. Mostra tudo.
Back in the days, the medicine was introduced to the Western world through Mestre Irineu. And he made it possible for it to come out into the world, but we are the original owners of this medicine, and now we are also coming out into the world and spreading our truth. And this medicine is truth, and it is real, and it exists, and it can help.
E cada dia que passa é diferente. Tem que tomar hoje. Você vai ver outra miração. Amanhã você toma, sempre vai mudando. Não é a mesma coisa que funciona.
Every time you drink ayahuasca, it's a different experience. It will never be the same experience.
Como fosse a filme passando, né? Isso também, a miração está desse jeito. Quando toma é diferente. Por isso que todo mundo quer tomar cada vez mais.
And when you drink ayahuasca, it's like watching a film, and you learn from this film, and more people are becoming interested in learning from this medicine.
Ele mostra, né, para você, não vai dar feito para você, não. Mostra para você e você tem que fazer.
It shows you how you can achieve the things you want, but you have to do the work. It will only show you.
Assim tem que fazer, né? Se você vê, não faz, não vai acontecer nada também. Se vê, assim eu vi, né? Agora eu vou fazer. Coloca na prática, assim ajuda.
So when you have a vision of something, it will not happen unless you do it. I mean, you have to be the person that makes it happen. But the medicine can show you what would be good for you to do.
É por causa desse conhecimento que esse povo estão chegando cada vez mais. E no final, se nós tem esse conhecimento, alguém, o nosso amigo como vocês encontra, nós vem e a polícia está proibindo, né?
And we have this wisdom that comes from the forest and it's spreading out into the world, but you also have laws and restrictions, so it's the police is preventing the medicine to spread in the world.
Isso é o nosso próprio tradição. Não é comprado, não é de nada, é da Yoshibu mesmo que está lá, que vamos trazendo, não é para todos, nós estamos trazendo pelo nosso amigo.
This medicine is Yoshibu, it is the Great Spirit, and it comes from the forest, and it comes from us, and it's original, and it's from the forest.
Estamos querendo ensinar o nosso irmão, mas pelo que eu estou sentindo, se for continuar essa proibição, é bom os amigos daqui que podem ir lá na floresta. Ninguém pode vir mais para cá porque é proibido. Então, para ter contato, nada conflito, tem que estar lá.
And as I said, we are traveling more and more into the world with our medicine, but it's also becoming more and more difficult to travel in the world because of restrictions and laws. So if it continues like this, we invite you to come to the forest and work with the medicine there. So it's not going to stop.
That's good to hear.
What is his opinion? We got a question from one of our fans on Facebook yesterday, and I thought it was a good question. What does he recommend? Like ayahuasca or plant medicines is definitely not for everyone. Same as yoga, same as soccer or whatever. What does he advise to people that live in Europe, don't have access to ayahuasca, to get in touch back with this respect for nature and
Então ele está falando que medicina não é para todo mundo, né?
Não é para todo mundo.
E igual que tem várias outras coisas que não é para todo mundo, né?
Sim.
Cada um tem o seu caminho. Né?
Cada um tem seu caminho. É por isso que eu falo, quem toma essa medicina não fala mal de nós. Estão querendo cada vez mais. Aquele que não toma medicina que fica falando mal de nós, quem está usando medicina.
Those who haven't tried the medicine, they talk badly about us. But those who have tried and drink the medicine, they understand. And, can we repeat the question again?
what is a good way for people?
E para as pessoas que não têm acesso a ayahuasca, a medicina, você tem algum conselho para eles, mesmo assim, chegar mais perto da natureza e fica conectado com a natureza sem a medicina?
Sim, pode chegar lá, mas não chega de uma vez não, tem que perguntar, explicar para ele como é que funciona, né? Se ele gosta, não gosta.
Não, para pessoas que não tem como tomar. Tem jeito de se aproximar à natureza, mesmo assim, sem tomar medicina? De viver em equilíbrio e virar ser humano sem medicina?
Sim, pode sim.
E como?
E sem medicina nada mesmo. Tem muita gente que diferente de medicina que vive também, né? Por exemplo, os animais estão vivendo sem nada medicina. Não sei se eles têm também, né?
For example, the animals, they just live without medicine. Mas and people, mas tu sabe quando você toma medicina, né? Você se sente conectado, né? Com tudo.
Sim.
Com outras pessoas, o mundo, né? Tudo. Mas tem como fazer essa conexão sem tomar medicina?
Sem tomar medicina, né? A conexão sem tomar medicina não dá de fazer.
It's possible to have the same connection without drinking ayahuasca. Como?
Passa 3 dias sem dormir, você vai ver tudo.
If you stay awake for 3 days without sleeping, you are going in that direction.
Interesting.
Dat zouden we niet per definitie iedereen thuis aan. We wouldn't recommend this per se to everyone.
But it comes back to becoming in an altered state.
Yeah.
In a higher state of consciousness.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Começa a aparecer tudo ali.
Everything starts to reveal itself if you don't sleep for 3 days.
Uma vez sem comida também.
Or if you don't eat.
Yeah, fasting.
Fasting.
For 40 days, people. Do it.
Porque eu já vi esses dois partes, né? Eu já testei essa.
I tried it myself. So
Not sleeping for 3 days.
Not sleeping and tried to fast. And,
How did that work out?
E como foi para você? Para fazer dieta e não dormir, por exemplo? Como foi? Não dormir 3 dias. O que aconteceu?
Isso eu mesmo testei de fazer, né? Eu não vou dormir, não. Quando o sono chega, passa rapé, às vezes fuma, para ter mais sono. Como nós não temos café, né? Passando rapé para acordar de novo, passando sananga. Até que chegou mesmo quando me levantei andando, uma estrada dessa assim, estrada grande, caminhões abertos. Eu não estava mais nesse lugar, estava no outro lugar.
And I tested myself to stay awake for 3 days, and like in the forest we don't have coffee, so we use rapé and sananga to stay awake. But after some days, everything started to change. I was no longer walking on the same road that I was walking on before, everything started to look different.
E com fome também eu vi a mesma coisa. Viajei para fazer esse sentido também, né? Quando eu vinha voltando, um viagem grande, eu comecei a sentir fome. Com esse fome, tomava água, melhora, assim, uns poucos minutos. Quando termina, já está querendo cair, quando levanta, parece que eu estava voando ali. Já diferenciou tudo, mudou tudo.
Yeah, and I also had strong experiences with fasting and only with the help of water. In the end, I was floating and levitating, or it felt like that.
Assim,
everything changed.
Assim eu senti que eu estou falando com esses dois coisas aqui, dá de ver sem nada a medicina, né? E o outro tem que ser bem duro para chegar. Nada, como é que faz? Fechar o olho, né? Tem que segurar mesmo ali, olhando com muito tempo, você vai ver chegando a admiração, mudando ali, transformando, qualquer coisa, faz isso também.
And there's another technique also, which is very difficult, and that is to keep your eyes open. To not close your eyes and not to blink. And if you can hold that, after a while, everything will start to change.
I'm trying that right now, that's really hard.
É por isso que o olho pisca muitas vezes para nós não enxergar. Aí sempre perde, né? Agora chega abrindo reto mesmo, vai ver muitas coisas. Uma coisa vai transformar muita coisa.
So if you can manage to keep your eyes open firmly and in one direction without blinking or anything like that, the visions will come.
Só isso que dá de ver sem nada a medicina.
And like this, it's a very simple way of testing it without medicine.
Yeah.
Ou às vezes no sonho, né? Sonho já é diferente.
And with dreaming also. With dreaming, it is also different.
São esses que tem fora da medicina.
So dreaming, de sonhar é uma outra maneira de fazer. So through dreams we can also search for visions.
Yeah. If we dream, if we sleep, are we in the same space as we are when we drink ayahuasca?
Quando a gente dorme e quando a gente sonha, a gente está no mesmo lugar de quando toma medicina?
Já é diferente.
No, it's not exactly the same place.
Porque ali você está vivo mesmo. A medicina você está ali misturado, tremendo, aquela força toda, né? O sonho não, o sonho está tranquilo ali.
Yeah, because when you drink ayahuasca, you mix something into your being, and in the dream you are not mixed with anything. It's a different state.
O sonho, o próprio espírito mesmo está trabalhando.
And in our sleep, it's our own spirit that's working.
Okay.
Porque o corpo não sabe, né? Tá ali, dormiu. O espírito que funciona isso.
And the body doesn't know what's going on, but when we dream, the spirit is working with us, and the body is sleeping, and it's not active.
I have a question about these medicines and taking them to the West. What is their main goal? What is their motivation to come here with the medicine? Is it because they have this sense of altruism that we need to heal the world? Or maybe there's a sense of self-preservation because obviously, as he said, they can see the West sort of gaining territory and I expect they see in their close vicinity the results of, for example, climate change, global warming, stuff like that. What's the main thing they're trying to accomplish with the medicine in the West?
Qual é o objetivo de vocês trazer medicina para cá e fazer os trabalhos aqui? É o objetivo para ajudar o mundo ou é o objetivo para preservar a sua própria tribo? Ou qual é o objetivo de espalhar essa sabedoria de vocês? O quê?
Essa medicina que sempre nós traz aqui, como eu falei, não é eu que estou trazendo. Outra pessoa já tem conhecimento, está pedindo para me trazer essa medicina, né? Quando traz aqui, às vezes assim como nós estamos falando, estamos pensando com o nosso pensamento que será que vai dar certo, e assim vai dar certo, já fez, às vezes já tem conhecimento de fazer uma vez, 2 vezes, às vezes já fez muita vez, tem essa confiança que pode fazer, né?
So, first of all, I am invited, and we are invited to come here and share our medicine and our wisdom.
E a medicina que nós traz é para ver, como nós estamos aqui, se tomar, vai dar certo, vai mostrar para você que vai dar certo. Aí você se sente feliz, né? Se não dá certo, vai mostrar onde pode fazer. Essa aqui pode fazer, todo mundo está vendo, agora sim, isso que nós estamos querendo mostrar para vocês, para todo mundo saber essa parte também, né?
So we share the medicine here for you to become happy and to see how if you don't become happy immediately, the medicine will show you how you can become happy.
Depois essa nossa conversa, podemos tomar para ver como é que funciona. Assim sempre faz. Por isso que nós traz esse conhecimento, sem nada, trabalho. Todo mundo vai ver o que vai acontecer, o que já aconteceu, passou, o que vai daqui para frente. Então é por isso essa muito boa para nós essa medicina.
So we also show the medicine to you so you can see what has happened and what will come and what will happen.
What is his thought on shamans that are, or like, no, I say differently. People who serve ayahuasca to other people, but not having a decent background. Like, how important is it to have good shaman, and why should it be not something to take very lightly?
Para poder servir a medicina, você tem que ser preparado, né? Não é qualquer pessoa que pode servir a medicina. O que você acha? Como funciona isso?
Para começar a servir a medicina, tem que ser batizado e feito de dieta. Assim pode começar. Se não for isso, não dá de fazer ainda. Às vezes, se não fez isso dando para outra pessoa, o outro vai sofrer, gritar muito ali. Você não sabe curar.
So, in order for you to be able to serve the medicine and to start the path as a shaman, you need to be baptized and you need to go through some diets. Without these diets, you can't serve the medicine, because if you serve these medicines without going through the preparations from my people, then you can bring suffering to other people. You can do bad things to other people.
How does that work, bringing the suffering and bringing the bad stuff? Why are these rituals so important for this?
Well, he's saying that you need, if you're not prepared by them or by their tradition, when you serve the medicine, you can bring suffering to people because you're not prepared. So, e como funciona isso? Como você dá sofrimento para alguém se você não está preparado?
Se não está preparado, a hora que o outro grita, às vezes corre, né? Você não sabe como curar. Agora você está no dieta, você pode curar com assopro, né? Como nós sempre faz, assoprando tudo ali, cantando, você pode ajudar.
For example, if you're not prepared and you serve the medicine to someone, and the person is having a very strong experience, like, for example, screaming or wants to run away, or then if you're not prepared, you won't know what to do to calm the person, to make the person use this experience for his personal growth. So you won't be able to know what to do.
I see.
But
yes.
when you've done the diets and the preparations, you will know.
All right. Yeah. I understand. I understand that that this preparation is very important, but at the same time, and I am by no means an ayahuasca ceremony expert, but from what I've seen, they seem to be very relaxed about the ceremonies and the use of other medicines, for example. the one thing that surprised me is the fact that you readily combine it with other medicines like rapé and Xuru, which is cannabis, which if you talk to other shamans and people who are involved in this, they go like, no, that's a very, very bad idea. You shouldn't want to do that. So on one hand, I see him being very strict in that. And on the other hand, they seem to be very relaxed about it. What are his thoughts about being strict with, for example, combining it with other medicines during ceremonies?
Então, hoje em dia tem muitas opiniões, né, de várias pessoas, né? Por exemplo, alguns grupos falam que não é bom fumar churu, né? E misturar as medicinas. Mas ele viu a cerimônia de você que tá bem relaxado assim, né? E dá de fumar churu também, e você trabalha com várias medicinas. O que você acha de tudo isso? Pode misturar várias medicinas ou não pode? Ou como que é?
Isso foi no conhecimento dos... Como vocês, né? Os Nauá faz várias para não fazer, né? Então, para nós Huni Kuin, que nós temos esse conhecimento, que a medicina foi transformada junto. Xuru, mesma pessoa do Abusan transformou, mandou através do conhecimento do sonho, é por isso que usa junto. Agora, aquela pessoa que não sabe essa transformação dos ancestrais, que faz essa regra, né? Não pode. Essa é a mesma pessoa, a mesma família.
So he's saying that all these rules and regulations of what not to do and what to do is something that we have made up. And it's something that's made up by people who don't know. Because, for example, cannabis is also created by Yushibu. It's created by the Great Spirit, and it's all the medicines, the plant medicines, are created by the Spirit. So therefore, if you don't know, then you will make lots of rules. But if you know, you will know that these medicines can work together.
What is the story of the Xuru? Because I'm really wondering what the story of the Xuru is. Where does it come from?
The origin. Então, também tem várias lendas, né, e histórias como surgiu o Xuru, né? De onde veio o Xuru, né?
Sim.
E qual é a história de vocês?
A nossa história foi iniciado através do sonho, né? O tempo que transformação do Abusan.
In the time of transformation, out of the dream that became the transformation.
Nasceu pelo umbigo, essa planta.
The cannabis plant was born inside the stomach.
E o cipó saiu na boca.
And the liana came out of the mouth.
As folhas saiu do coração.
And the leaves came out of the heart.
Tabaco saiu do nariz.
And tobacco came out of the nose.
Pimenta, tingui ficou para o peixe. São essas plantas que nasceu da mesma pessoa, morreu, e essa peça toda transformou essas plantas sagradas.
And also the chili came out of... Veio de quem?
Do Abusan.
Came out of this man called do Abusan. And aí foi transformado tudo.
Foi transformado toda essa planta sagrada, mesma pessoa.
And all these plants that came out of him became sacred plants.
É por isso que tem que usar junto, né?
And this is why we have to use them together.
É o alimento do espírito que tem nessas plantas, Xuru, rapé, por isso que dá rapé dentro do trabalho.
So this is alimentation for the spirit. It's like feeding the spirit with the cannabis and the rapé, the sacred tobacco. This is all part of feeding the spirit.
And does it do different things in regard to, for example, are there situations as a shaman where you would choose to use tobacco, for example, to do like, heal a sprained spiritual ankle, I don't know, or cannabis in another situation where you want somebody to feel more empathy, or how does he use it in his work is what I want to know.
Aí você sempre usa as medicinas junto ou dá de usar, por exemplo, tabaco para algum tipo de cura e churu para outro tipo de cura?
Dá de fazer trabalho com esses plantas.
Yes, we can use the plants in different
Com tabaco
ways.
mesmo, para poder curar outra pessoa, tem que passar o rapé, né? Aí, com a sopro, você pode ajudar. E esse churu, às vezes, você utiliza, né? Tem essa sensação que tem poder, chega a curar. Você sente, você que está curando, e a pessoa está sentindo também que está bom. Ah, você me curou, tudo bem. Então, aí começa.
Sometimes we can give rapé to a person, and the person, through the rapé and through the blow of our breath, the shaman, we heal. But sometimes I can also smoke the cannabis myself, and then I activate my spirit and I use my hands to heal.
Ah. Interesting.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Question for you, man, because you've been to our ceremonies last weekend.
Yeah.
And you never saw a traditional Huni Kuin ceremony. How did you experience it?
Well, like I said, man, it was so much different than what I was used to and what you imagine a ceremony to be. One of the things that I really noticed is even though it was very exciting, there was a very relaxed vibe. And one of the things that I noticed is that the shamans themselves seemed to be having a lot of fun during the ceremony. They take it very seriously, but there was a lot of humor involved, and I got the feeling that relaxed a lot of people. And what I noticed is that, from what I've seen, is that they incorporated all these other medicines. For example, there was a round where everybody got water. I think it was flower water dripped into the ice, which was
Sananga.
Yeah, which seemed really uncomfortable, but everybody kind of went with it, and that was something I hadn't seen before. It's like, oh, so they're taking out all these things. They have this big bag of tricks that they're going to use tonight, and I think a lot of people there thought, well, I'm going to do ayahuasca, so they had this. I'm going to get a cup of this brew in my hand, and then you started doing all the other stuff and the rapé, and that made it very diverse, but I think that was good for a lot of people. Yeah,
a lot of people got overwhelmed by that as well, because usually it's only ayahuasca.
Yeah.
And then you have to do sananga, which bites. It's made from a little bush from the root, and it clears you of mental diseases, bad spirits, and mental things. And that helps you with seeing visions. But if you're not used to it, and you do the hape, and you have to throw up a lot, and you do the ayahuasca, and it makes you nausea, it can be pretty overwhelming.
Yeah. I don't know if you can fix that, but I can imagine if you're the last guy in the circle that has to do the rapé or harpe, or how you guys call it, and you've seen all these guys take it and buckle over, that's a tough cookie to swallow.
But the hape is always different also. Like the first time, you have to throw up maybe, and then afterwards it can be like, I always make the comparison, like, it can be like somebody's blowing an ashtray in your face, or it can be like flowers, and it can send you into space.
And the impression that I got, it was a lot lighter, because obviously the ceremonies I did were in total dark, and this was with light and candles and stuff like that. And the music was different. There were the Icaros, which we talked about it. They have this earbug effect that these Icaros tend to do. They stick with you through the entire weekend in your mind. But the other singing was very beautiful as well, and I like with the guitar and some more regular songs, but that gave it a whole more relaxed ambience. I mean, the other ceremonies were work, like hard, intense work, and these ceremonies had these little moments of relaxations where everybody just they gathered, and you could walk outside for a bit, and everybody was coherent again, and then they got to go back in for some more work.
Yeah, it's been a funny ride since I've been traveling with him and doing more ceremonies, and then. For me, there's a real difference that you're not as a patient there, but you're now to help there. So the medicine, the ayahuasca, is teaching you to work with it and to heal, and it's explaining to you during the ceremonies what you're doing and how you should handle things. And it's a really weird new situation for me to be in that position. And about the sacred chants and the Icaros, it taught me that the shaman makes frequencies, words and tones and chants that, if you look at the body, you see thousands of little guitar strings in every person. And some of these strings are wrinkled or broken. And with these words, you can actually touch these strings. And you touch them and you heal them. And that's where it hurts, and that's where people have to vomit. That's how the medicine explained it to me.
What's awesome about that is that it's very similar to how people explain mantras. I've been doing this 21-day challenge, mantra challenge, and you have to do these hums, and it actually does something in your brain. You can feel it vibrate. So if you look at it like that, and I hear you explaining it like this, I'm like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. It's the same mechanism that you're using there.
So and then Anisha was really relaxed about it to me. Like I was like, in the beginning, I didn't know any chants or a little bit. And he's like, it's the sound that you're making and the intention. It's not about my language, your language, Peruvian language. It's just...
We have to ask though. Can you ask Isha, how's Bishi singing? Is he progressing?
Como tá a cantoria do Bishi Nawa? Do Vigard?
Bishi Nawa?
O que você acha da cantoria dele?
Como canta o cantoria? Qual cantoria?
O cantoria que ele faz, né?
Ah, sim.
Tá meio engraçado, como que é?
Não, tá bom, tá iniciando a primeira música, né? Primeira música dele.
He's doing
assim
well,
começa.
he's starting his first song, he's doing it.
Eu senti que ele vai aprender mais ainda.
I can feel that he will learn much more.
Começa assim, vai aprender mais.
When it starts like this, then he will learn a lot more.
Yeah. That brings me to another question when it comes to being a shaman in these groups. Because I once read a little book, I got it from you, Ayahuasca and the Shaman, and there they had this concept, which when I read about what it means to be a shaman, they talk about holding the room, and they have this term called confidenza. It's like you as a shaman have to know and trust that everything will be all right. Can you talk a little bit about that? What that concept is and how that works for a shaman?
Ele está perguntando como é de ser pajé, né? E todo mundo tem que confiar em você. E você também tem que mostrar confiança, né? Para todo mundo se sente seguro, se sente bem, né? E o que tu acha da importância disso aí?
Eu sinto assim, se eu tenho conhecimento daquelas coisas, se dá de fazer, eu pode ajudar. Né? Se eu não tenho esse conhecimento também, se alguém não chegar, tem conhecimento, eu falo que eu não conheço essa parte. Né? Onde eu tenho conhecimento, eu faço, atender todas as coisas.
So basically, I only do what I know. And I work with the things that I know. And in this way, I create the confidence and the trust. So I don't do things that I don't know. Because if I do things that I don't know, then people will not trust me.
Can you explain what his vision is about the sacred chants and what they do according to him?
Qual é a função dos cantos e a cantoria Huni Kuin? E o objetivo, o que eles fazem?
Através da cantoria, tem cantoria de cura, né? Tem várias cantorias que existem, cada canto pode fazer. So o que você quer fazer, pode fazer.
We have many different types of songs. We have songs for healing and other types.
Porque nós, Huni Kuin, através de cantoria, que pode fazer mais coisa, para todo mundo saber, né? Não é nada segredo, ali cantando é para todos.
And our songs is for everyone, and for everyone to participate and take part in the songs.
É por isso que com canto cura mais.
And this is why when we sing, we heal. And the more of us that sing together, the more we heal. So we use the songs to heal.
That all sounds very altruistic, I mean, most of us, when we think about ayahuasca and we talk about ayahuasca, it's all about the healing and the stuff like that. We get already also told about unprepared shamans. But one of the things that ayahuasca, especially in Holland, it's got a little bit of publicity, and it mainly zooms into bad shamans and people with bad intentions. And one of the things that stuck out to me when reading in that book, Ayahuasca and the Shaman, is that they also talk about black magic and shamans that can use the ayahuasca for bad. And I wondered how that works, because if people talk to me about ayahuasca, it's the medicine with an intention and it represents the spirit. And I was wondering, how the hell can we as humans misuse that if it's supposed to be so powerful? So how does black magic work if you look at the point of it from a medicine? You know what I mean?
Ele está dizendo que tem pajé bom, né? E tem pajé ruim também. E tem pessoas que trabalham com magia negra, né? E ainda tem pessoas que usam medicina ayahuasca para fazer mal. E o que você acha disso?
Quem está fazendo isso é mau pensamento e também não entende isso. Quem toma medicina, para mim, é uma pessoa boa, porque ali que todo mundo está querendo, né? Um caminho de luz, tudo bem, nada acontecimento, e alguém toma essa medicina buscando esse mau conhecimento, é pior para ele. Não é para fazer essa parte, né? Mas tem pessoa ruim, isso mesmo.
So there's people around that have bad thoughts and bad energies in them, and they want to become powerful, and they want you to learn with the medicine, and sometimes they do bad things, but in the end they are only doing bad things towards themselves.
Yeah, I understand. The reason why I thought that, because if you take ayahuasca, and I listen to all the stories about ayahuasca, what that medicine will do is will show you why it's a bad idea to become a black magician. But they seem to be there, so I was wondering how that could work if it was supposed to heal you. So if you have these bad intentions, I figured it would wipe those out of you, so you never would want to be a black magician again.
Can I say something over there? Like, I had that this weekend when we I made a medicine on my own, and it teach me in the last few weeks how to do it. And I had bad thoughts that day about people and some opinions based on my just perception, nothing factual. And then I was drinking the medicine, and it punished me for that. Meaning that I had to throw up for 2 hours. And it told me, like, these bad thoughts should not be there when you make the medicine and serve the medicine. Because right now, you're on the path of, shamanism, and your will and your power is not very strong yet. So the plant can protect itself with intentions and stuff. But if you become a strong shaman and you have these bad thoughts, it can overrule the plant, and then it gets in the medicine, and then it gets in the people. So yeah, that was kind of how it explained to me. So shamans should have pure thoughts, loving intentions, and yeah.
Yeah, but what puzzles me about is that if I look at you, you might have some intrusive, maybe bad thoughts every now and then. But if 95% of you is a good person, you know what I mean. And I think ayahuasca helps people to become better persons. And like these guys I read about, they were like wicked men that misuse the power of this magic for evil. And I was wondering how that could happen if it has this healing effect on everybody.
Let's ask.
Yeah, that was my question.
E tem pessoas que usam a medicina mesmo para fazer mal, né? Mas como isso é possível? Porque a medicina cura, né? Mas medicina é bom, é energia boa, né? É um espírito bom. E como é possível alguém usar a medicina para fazer mal? Isso é possível?
Isso que eu estou falando, né? Isso está fazendo isso, não está entendendo. Porque a medicina mesmo explica para não fazer isso. Fala para não fazer isso. Aí faz isso porque ele mesmo está querendo fazer.
So he's saying that, the people who do this, they can do it because they want to do it. Mas Mas a medicina não vai prevenir?
Medicina mostra, né, para não fazer isso.
The medicine shows them not to do bad things.
E essa pessoa fazendo isso está sentindo bem, mas não está fazendo aquela que está fazendo. Está fazendo próprio dele mesmo.
The person who's doing bad things, he feels good about what he's doing, and he just doesn't know what is actually happening to the people he's working with. It makes him feel good.
Yeah.
It makes him feel powerful.
So in his perception, it is good. Is there, according to like the Huni Kuin or Yushibo, is there a clear distinction between good and evil, as for example the Bible knows, like between sins and righteousness? Is there something like a concept like that in their belief system?
Vocês da Huni Kuin, o Yushibo, vocês têm conceito mal e bem?
Tempo atrás, como primeiro ancestrais, tinha o conhecimento de medicina própria para fazer mal. Tem várias medicinas para fazer mal. E tem essa pessoa que conheceu, né, esses conhecimentos, tem pessoa, esse pensamento vai buscar esse conhecimento. Conheceu, né, tem esse conhecimento, passando para outro é assim e tal, né, e existia muito.
So a long time ago, with our ancestors, there was medicine that was being created only to do bad things.
O pessoal mal mesmo, como sempre até hoje tem esse pensamento, né? Se alguém mal mesmo, ninguém gosta disso. Tem que matar qualquer coisa ali. Fazendo isso, perdeu tudo quem tem esse conhecimento, né?
So today there's many good people and bad people, and it's always existed.
Primeiro, com a medicina, mistura, faz defumação aqui, acabava essa cidade todas as pessoas morrendo.
And the people, they could kill an entire village with venom.
Venena tudo, né? Defumação, cheiro, assim.
Smoke.
Aí pega tudo.
And do bad things to a whole community.
And was this part of because when we're talking about war, do they know tribal warfare where they're from?
Vocês têm guerra entre tribos?
O tempo ancestrais tiveram entre eles mesmo.
Yeah, in our ancestors' days there were tribal.
Yeah, and the use of magic was a part of that war?
E usava magia também? Magia?
Usava, sim, isso que eu estou falando. Às vezes vai lá, coloca na água veneno para tomar morrer, ou então vai passar na roupa dele, para vir sem saber vestir, vai morrer. Ou então esse que eu estou falando, venena tudo. Aí vai esconder essa pessoa.
Well, they would use, for example, poison. To poison the water or put poison on the clothes of other people they wanted to kill. Or, as I said before, to kill an entire village.
Ou com canto mesmo, cantando o nome da pessoa, com cantoria, né, tira o espírito da gente.
And even with songs, we can take away the spirit from a man and punish him like that.
All right.
Does something like Western diseases like suicide and depression, from what I've seen and known, it's not really known in the forest. Can you give his view on that?
Aqui no nosso mundo tem muita depressão, suicídio, né? Pessoas que se matam. E ele está falando que na floresta ele não viu muito isso, não.
Não tem.
Tem pessoas, como está a situação lá? Tem pessoas que se matando, depressivo, doente?
Por esse tempo tá tendo um pouco problema. Quando o primeiro contato com os brancos, tive muito problema também, né? Porque tinha muito álcool, né? Esqueceu da medicina, tomando esse. Às vezes matava outro de tiro, matava de faca, assim acontecia também, né?
So when we used to be isolated and we first met the white man, that's where all the trouble started with alcohol.
Aí parou isso, todo mundo com essa medicina diminuiu.
And then gradually alcohol got more power and they stopped to drink ayahuasca.
Alcohol is a big problem.
Álcool é problema grande.
Álcool é problema. Quando toma, às vezes vai lá, mata outro, né, sem saber, matando outro, e o outro tá querendo vingar também. Aí começa com essas...
Yeah, sometimes people under the influence of alcohol, they don't know what they're doing. They can go and kill someone and not remember. And then the family of the person who's been killed, they want revenge, and like this, problems are created.
How does that work in their community? I mean, I guess nowadays if there's a murder, maybe the Brazil government steps in. But how did they do that before first contact? Like, do they have laws? And for example, what if there was a murder? What would they do?
Quando vocês eram isolados, vocês tinham leis. Por exemplo, se alguém matou alguém, como vai ser processado? Hoje em dia é polícia, né? Hoje tem lei, né? Se alguém mata, hoje em dia, polícia leva, né? Aí vai ter processo. Mas no antigo, vocês têm leis dentro, próprias leis, Huni Kuin?
Nós próprios Huni Kuin, nós não tem lei assim escrito, não. Nós tem lei, essa medicina que nós tem sempre sagrado. Para não acontecer mais isso, nós coloca nessa dieta, acaba tudo com pensamento mal, com essas coisas tudo, tira tudo o que ele fez também, né? Tem que cumprir essa dieta. Aí que começa a fazer, para não fazer mais isso, para acabar.
So if someone has done something really bad to someone, and the way we would punish that person would be by putting them in a diet. Then they would have to get rid of their dark spirit or dark energy spirit. They're sick in the spirit. So with the diet and with our medicine, we would heal the person.
So they never take it really personal in that way.
Aí você nunca leva pessoal assim.
Não.
No, we don't.
E hoje, tempo do meu avô, acontecia isso. E hoje, depois que ele foi, e tive esse criação de polícia, até próprio parente polícia ficou na todas as aldeias, né? E assim entregando na mão dos polícia, dos brancos, eu falei também, não pode fazer mais isso. Isso é a tradição dos brancos que faz isso. É a nossa tradição, vamos continuar a fazer essa dieta. Nós nunca aprendemos os brancos, o branco continua aprendendo nós. E nós não estamos prendendo ninguém. Vamos fazer o que é nosso mesmo. A nossa direção é isso. Vamos estar todo mundo fazer isso. Melhor do que prender, coloca no caminho bom.
So back in the days where my grandfather was alive, that's when the police was created. Even police within our tribe. But as I say, this is the tradition of the white man to have the police and the laws. And I keep saying to my people that we should continue to use our own traditions and help people that have been possessed by negative energy.
So everything that happens is considered out of their influence and under the influence of a negative spirit, and that's why you go on a dieta, because it's not really your fault.
Então, quando alguém faz alguma coisa mal, é porque ele tem um espírito mal, né? Então, vocês curam, tira esse espírito mal. Então, na verdade, a pessoa não tem culpa. Yes, this is correct. Yeah.
So there's nothing that you could do that would get you banished or even retribution in the
Então, não tem uma coisa que você vai mandar essa pessoa para fora da comunidade para sempre. Se ele fez alguma coisa mal, você vai ajudar, né? Você vai curar. Não vai espantar para outro lugar.
Não, isso que eu falo. Hoje em dia é tão espantando, né? Pega, prende lá, preso, sem trabalhar muito tempo, fechado, né? Além de trabalhar, tá lá preso, né? Não sai.
For example, today, when something happens, the white man, police come and take people from my village and put them in prison, and then they will be there for 3 months or 6 months, doing nothing. And why? If they would stay with us, they could work, they could help in the community, and we don't take white men prisoners. So why do they take our people prisoners?
Yeah.
So we kind of have to round up a little bit. I'd like to know 2 more questions, and then. Do you have any questions? You still thinking?
I still have a big book full, but I'm looking at the time and I see 2 hours just flew by. So I can imagine we need to wind up.
So we have 2 questions, and then we're going to finish off with a nice Xuru, I guess.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Question number 1 is people in their village, people that live here in the West, and they have a mental disability, schizophrenia. Some people see stuff, other people, the voices in their head or whatsoever. How does he look at this kind of we call it illness in their village?
Então ele está dizendo que aqui no nosso mundo tem pessoas que às vezes vejam coisas que não tá lá, né? Ou tem alguma coisa doença mental assim. E aqui no nosso mundo isso as pessoas já é estranho, né? O que você acha de tudo isso? Vocês têm também? E, por exemplo, uma pessoa veja coisas que não está lá, isso é o quê?
Como daqui mesmo vê lá, como é que é?
Quando as pessoas têm uma doença mental, né? Por exemplo. Aqui todo mundo fica tratado, trancado, toma medicina, várias coisas, né? Mas como vocês fazem lá?
Sendo assim, nós temos própria medicina, tudo para isso também, como tem na farmácia, né? O nosso tem na floresta. Se parece alguma doença, consulta, né? Ou através do sonho, a pessoa que está doente, o que é que sente, como fosse consulta daqui, nós consulta através do sonho, o que é que está sonhando quando está sentindo essa doença, e eu estou sentindo isso, sonhei isso, então a doença daquilo, então vamos buscar aquela medicina, passa para ela, fica bom, é isso mesmo, adivinhou, o pajé adivinhou, curou, tá, tudo bem, né? Então, isso sempre faz.
Yeah, so in the forest, we treat every situation equally, and we will try, if someone has a mental disease or something like that, we will ask to get the cure through a dream. So we ask how can we cure this? How can we help this person? And then we go to sleep, and then the dream will show us different plant medicines that we can work with to heal the person.
It's funny you say that about a dream, because my diet started with just touching a plant, a leaf, and rubbing it over my face, saying my intentions. I was disappointed when he asked me to do that, because I felt there was this kind of super traditional woo-woo thing going on to start my diet, but it was just touching a leaf, and and then he told me, like, tonight you will have a dream, and I was like, would I have to drink something, like something ayahuasca or something? It's not, just touching is enough.
Yeah.
And that evening I had the most wildest dream. It was like an ayahuasca vision, and this goes beyond understanding. People don't understand. I don't know what happened. And it's really the technology or the power of the plants that we have no clue about. We really forgot about it. And
are dreams the only way to get insight into a cure? For example, I was talking about this podcast with someone, and she had a question about what do you guys, for example, you guys give the medicine as well. So maybe you have an answer to this, but what does he see when he pours your cup? I mean, what exactly? He's looking at you. At the first time I did a ceremony, of like, yeah, he's gauging my height and my weight. Like, this guy needs a little bit more because he weighs 100 pounds, for example. But what is it what you guys see when you look at a person and you give the medicine? Because I understand from Wicked that the intention behind it is very important. So you need to know what your intention is. So how do you determine that?
Well, how does it work for you, man? I mean, you've been in the same seat.
I don't know. It's probably intuition. It's a feeling. You stand in front of a person that's about to receive medicine, and you look in the person in their eyes, and if you can feel immediately how much medicine is supposed to be poured. It's not a mental choice.
All right.
It's kind of a feeling.
Yeah, for me, I see a lot when I look into people. I don't know, energy or what keeps coming back is when somebody has a very dark energy around him, he needs more medicine.
Do you actually see darkness around them?
Yeah, like this.
Smoke?
You feel it, like somebody comes to you and you feel it.
You can see from far away if a person is happy, right?
Yeah, true.
You can also see if a person is sad. From very far away. You look at someone walking down the street, you can tell where they are more or less. No.
Yeah, true. Very true.
We can all do that.
But I definitely feel that with drinking the medicine, this seeing gets better. So you see more colors and stuff. And last weekend, it really learned me to put intention in the glass you're giving.
Yeah.
And I could see it traveling from my brain to the glass. So good stuff.
What does Isha think about this?
Quando você serve a medicina para alguém, que você veja na pessoa? Como você vai saber quanto de medicina você vai dar e que você veja?
A medicina, eu tomo o tanto que eu tomo, eu quero dar para todo mundo igual, porque o que eu vejo pode ver também, o mesmo tanto. Se toma menos, não chega a ver o que eu estou vendo. Tem que tomar igual. É por isso que eu faço. Se alguém vem querendo tomar pouco, essa aí já diminuiu, não vai comigo. Né? Tem que tomar tudo igual. Agora, às vezes, menor idade, você vê o tamanho, se dá de aguentar, não dá de aguentar, o que você tem. Aí você mede, né? Menos idade, pouca...
So when I serve the medicine, I want everyone to drink the same amount as me, because if we drink the same amount, I can show them the same. We can see the same things. But if there's a child or a young person or a small person in front of me, I will give less to that person. But if someone comes and asks me for just a little bit of medicine, I will give it. But I will also know that the person will not see what I see.
Yeah. So to round up, what is his message for the world? And if there's anything else he likes to say, then now's the time.
Então a gente vai terminar aqui, né? E a última coisa é você pode falar a sua mensagem para o mundo. Ou qualquer coisa que você quer falar para terminar.
Eu quero terminar dizendo esse mundo de hoje que nós sempre falamos, né? Dizendo que era o dono, esse aqui tudo, não é dono, é nosso todo, tá? É para nós todo. Tem que entender no mundo inteiro isso.
I would like to end this interview with saying that the world has not one owner, we are all owners of the world.
Hoje, mundo de hoje, nós estamos pensando em mundo novo pensamento. Os ancestrais vieram fazer muita coisa, guerra, muita bagunça. Já vemos o que passou, o que fizeram. E hoje eu quero que todo mundo está em paz. Eu não quero mais essa guerra, todo mundo em paz. Como fosse guerreiro da paz. Mundo de hoje, nós temos que levar isso.
So throughout history, there has been a lot of wars and pain and suffering in our world, and I would like us all to stop the wars and the pain and get together and live together in peace and harmony with each other.
Isso eu quero mandar no mundo todo.
This I want to say to the whole world.
Nice. All right, we're going to round up. Thank you. You for being here, Christian, and helping out. Because we've been in a rough few weeks and a rough few months. A lot of things happen, and people have no idea what it is to organize, to make it work. That he can travel outside the forest, and there's a lot of work. So thank you for being here, and I'm sure our path is going to continue.
Yes.
And I see you next podcast next year somewhere probably.
Yeah.
I will.
Definitely.
And Michelle, I told it to you this weekend as well. Like, we would not be able to have this podcast right now if it wasn't for you.
Thanks, man.
And all this crazy stuff, adventures of me, and going to the jungle, and we have a company together, and there's a lot of effort in all this for us to be able to do this.
Yeah, man. Every now and then I take a step back and I look at the crazy shit that we're doing every now and then. If you explain this to anyone from your previous high school, for example, what you're doing right now, they look at you and like, these guys are crazy. But man, I would do it all again in a heartbeat. So yeah, man, no worries there.
Not many people understand what how much this means for me with Isha traveling, and I've been to the forest, and being able to see that everything they do is sacred to them. The way he talks about the plants, about the animals, and what I've experienced there is that the Huni Kuin, it's one of the most purest forms that we see today, how you can live in touch with nature. And we've forgotten it so badly. And it makes me sad to see the world go as it go right now. And being able to be here, we help Isha with a project called the Solar Project to implement sustainable technology like solar energy for clean water, clean energy, because petrol engines, they disturb the environment, they scare away the monkeys and the birds, and it's not healthy. So to give you a better understanding why we do this is like they had 9 dead born children in a community of 150 people because of polluted water and the oil disaster that happened last year.
BP.
Yeah. So it was something in the Amazon. I'm not sure if it was BP. But it's just not. These people are very. Let's say it like he talked to us about if an indigenous tribe sees a white man for the first time, they can get a flu just like that because it's a different disease. So they're really vulnerable. So imagine if an oil company spoils like 100 liters, spoils the earth and everything, and they're the first to know it. And the animals stay away, vegetation doesn't go well, and there's a lot of things that we can do for that. So I'm really happy that that we're working on that and we're raising money for it and lectures and doing these ceremonies. Plus, we're actually healing people, and the reactions I got back from this weekend is that people say they had the best night of their life, and it really means a lot.
Yeah, man. So, well, you can tell by just looking at the people you're working with right now, Isha and Christian as well. I said it in the podcast before this one, but I read a great quote by Aubrey Marcus the other day, which you can recognize a good shaman by their laugh. And one of the things that I noticed the most last weekend is the fun you guys have and the sincere laughs they share. And you can tell they're good people just by that. Just like you can spot a depressed person from a mile away, you can spot good people from a mile away as well. And well, these guys have that vibe. So it's great to hang out with you guys.
Thanks.
Doing good stuff.
Can you translate something to Isha that I want to thank him for being here? Thank him for all the things he's done. Although we don't speak a little bit Portuguese, but it's hand and feet. But I really like to thank him for being a mentor and being open for me to receive him and taking this journey. We call it the new start of working together. And I'm really looking forward to learn more from him and being able to help him.
Ele quer agradecer você muito para chegar aqui, né, compartilhar sua sabedoria, conhecimento e para ensinar ele também, né, o trabalho. E ele espera que no futuro vai ter mais trabalho ainda, né, e a gente vai trabalhar junto.
Obrigado. Eu quero agradecer ele também, né? Por essa ajuda que ele fez para mim. Estou sentindo curado, né? E espero que eu ensino ele como ele está querendo, como eu ensinei os outros, né? Por exemplo, o que eu estou trabalhando com eles, estão aprendendo comigo, estão servindo a medicina para todo mundo. Só que depois que aprendeu comigo, estão querendo me deixar. Quase tudo eu estou vendo isso.
I would also like to thank Wigat for our work together and for the opportunity to come over here and I teach many people as I go along and now you are in the process of learning and my only fear is that sometimes after I've taught people then they leave me.
Eu faço de tudo, né? Como comecei a batizar, dieta e trabalho espiritual, como pode cantar, como pode chamar o espírito, né? Como pode tirar a força da miração. Isso tudo tem que aprender para começar a trabalhar no mundo espiritual.
So I work, my work is spiritual work and it involves many different aspects. Like, for example, diminishing the power of the vision, or to invoke the vision, or to call upon a spirit, and all these things I teach, and I will pass on.
Isso pode ensinar. Já está aprendendo. Eu mandei ele servir, eu senti bem.
Yeah, you're already learning well. You're on a good path.
Thank you. Yeah, enjoy it. And now's the time to finish off with a powerful Xuru.
Yeah.
And you can ask him, you know?
If he wants to sing one.
Yeah.
Você pode terminar com um canto forte. Huni Kuin meu.
Eu vou cantar essa cantoria do mundo, né? Na Itarunawa.
I'm going to finish off with the song of the world.
Chai nai dun amani, chai nai dun amani, nai dun amani. A I a I, a I a I, ha ya I a I a I, ha ya I. Chai nai tarunawa, chai nai tarunawa, nai tarunawa. A I a I, a I a I, ha ya I a I, ha ya I. Chai kamankuru, kamankuru payani, kamankuru pani. A I a I. A I a I, ha ya I a I, ha ya I. Chai pupushita bakani, pupushita bakani. A I a I, a I a I, ha ya I a I, ha ya I. Chai kurunishpu nakani, kurunishpu nakani. A I a I, a I a I, ha ya I a I, ha ya I. House.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Thank you.
Ciao.